What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and buckle up because what I'm about to dive into is easily one of the craziest, most explosive stories to hit Cowboys Nation in a long, long time. And if you're a die-hard Dallas Cowboys fan, if you've been craving bold moves, if you've been begging this front office to finally step out of the shadows and strike big instead of tiptoeing around the edges, then you're going to want to sit tight for this one, because the rumors, the whispers, the ached conversations, the player sightings, the insider circles, and yes, apparently a quiet but extremely confident message coming straight from Jerry Jones himself all point to one jaw-dropping conclusion: A.J. Brown, the superstar wide receiver, one of the most explosive, physically dominant pass catchers in the entire NFL, might actually, seriously, no joke, be on his way to Dallas. And the number being thrown around is something absolutely wild: $100 million plus, a true blockbuster, franchise airing contract, the kind of deal that shocks the league and instantly flips the balance of power in the NFC. And look, I know this sounds insane. Cowboys fans have been burned before. We've heard big talk, we've seen fake hype. We've suffered through endless off-seasons where nothing happens but restructured contracts and recycled excuses. So I get it if you're raising an eyebrow right now, but the buzz surrounding this situation has reached a level that's almost impossible to ignore. I'm talking about people close to the organization mentioning a major WR move, players dropping cryptic emojis on social media, and insiders hinting that Jerry Jones has been in an especially aggressive win-now mindset this offseason. And when Jerry gets like that, historically, he doesn't sit around, he makes moves, he takes risks, he throws money on the table and dares the rest of the league to keep up. And everyone knows he has an obsession with superstar wide receivers Michael Irvin, Terrell Owens, Dez Bryant, CeeDee Lamb, so the idea of him setting his sights on A.J. Brown and saying bring him home to Dallas absolutely tracks with Jerry's personality. Now, imagine the implications for a second: A.J. Brown in a Cowboys uniform. Picture that. Dak Prescott lining up under center, surveying the field with A.J. Brown split out wide, a 6'1", 225-pound nightmare for defenses, a guy who can bulldoze corners like they're made of cardboard, burn safeties down the sideline, take a slant 70 yards to the house, and dominate third downs with pure strength and technical precision. Add that to the energy of at-NT Stadium, the fan base, the star on the helmet man. The idea alone is like injecting adrenaline straight into Cowboys Nation. This would instantly become one of the most dangerous receiver rooms in football, a 1-2 punch so lethal that defensive coordinators would stay up at night trying to figure out how to contain it. And if this move really costs north of $100 million, which is what the numbers being floated suggest, that means Dallas is preparing to go all in, not halfway, not cautiously tiptoeing like they've done in past off-seasons, but fully committing to upgrading the offense in a way that says we're done messing around, we're done being a punchline when the playoffs arrive, we're taking a real swing. Now, with a deal of that magnitude, the natural question becomes, how does this affect the roster, the cap, the long-term vision, the internal dynamics? And honestly, this is where things get interesting, because bringing in someone of A.J. Brown's caliber means reshuffling money, restructuring contracts, possibly letting go of familiar names, maybe even changing the offensive identity. But it also sends a message to the locker room that the Cowboys are sick of early exits, sick of losing to teams that take big swings, sick of being conservative while the rest of the NFC gets more aggressive. This move would tell Dak Prescott that the franchise believes in him and wants to surround him with elite firepower. It tells fans that ownership is willing to spend big. It tells rival teams, especially division rivals, that Dallas is loading up for war. But make no mistake, with a powerhouse receiver like A.J. Brown, there are expectations. A player on a $100 million contract doesn't have the luxury of slow starts or adjustment periods. Fans will expect fireworks immediately. Coaches will redesign plays, shift coverage schemes, and rewrite large portions of the playbook to maximize Brown's abilities. And yes, some players may feel pressure or frustration about touches, roles, or future money, because when a superstar arrives, the spotlight shifts, and everyone else has to adjust. But here's the thing, A.J. Brown isn't just another receiver you plug into a system. He changes the entire geometry of an offense. You can't play single high safety against him. You can't press him without help. You can't roll coverages away from him without giving up massive yards after catch. Defenses suddenly have to make impossible choices, double Brown and concede the middle of the field, or play him straight and risk him taking over the game. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you know that offensive flexibility is exactly what Dallas has lacked in key moments, someone who can physically dominate even when the scheme breaks down. Brown brings that. And let's not forget the mental aspect. Sometimes, a team needs a cultural jolt, a superstar who plays with swagger, confidence, toughness, and energy. A.J. Brown is that guy. He's fiery, passionate, emotional in the best way, the kind of player who drags teammates into battle with him. And on a franchise that has sometimes lacked killer instinct in high-stakes games, adding a competitor like Brown could be transformative. But of course, every huge move comes with risk. There's the injury factor, the contract factor, the cap space gymnastics, and the long-term balancing act of keeping a competitive roster around high-priced stars. If Dallas commits $100 million plus to Brown, they're mapping their future around this move, essentially telling the world that they believe betting big is better than playing safe. But honestly, at this point, that might be exactly what the Cowboys need. Playing safe hasn't gotten them where they want to go. Conservative offseasons haven't worked. Half measures haven't worked. Sometimes, you have to jump off the cliff and trust the parachute. And that's why this potential blockbuster has sent shockwaves through Cowboys Nation. Even the idea of A.J. Brown walking into the Star in Frisco for his introductory press conference is enough to electrify the fan base. Imagine the cameras flashing, the jerseys selling out instantly, the hype videos dropping, the city of Dallas exploding with excitement. Imagine training camp with Brown torching defenders and drills, fans lining up hours early just to see a glimpse. Imagine the season open on national television, that enormous stadium glowing blue and silver, and A.J. Brown stepping into the huddle wearing the star. The energy would be unreal. And beyond the spectacle, beyond the highlight reels and the social media madness, this move could legitimately shift the balance of power in the NFC. Teams like the Eagles, 49ers, and Lions would have to rethink their defensive plans. The Cowboys would instantly enter the conversation as a true Super Bowl contender, not just an if-everything-goes-right contender. And at the center of it all? Jerry Jones. The man who loves the spotlight, loves the gamble, loves the drama, loves making the Cowboys the story of the league. If he really wants A.J. Brown, and clearly he does, then Dallas is absolutely in position to swing for the fences. And who knows? In a few days, we might be sitting here reacting to the official announcement, breaking down the contract structure, analyzing the offensive scheme changes, debating how defenses will adjust. But for now, the energy, the speculation, the excitement, the urgency, it's all real, and it's all building towards something potentially massive. So buckle up, Cowboys fans, because if these whispers become reality, this might be the beginning of one of the most exciting eras of Dallas football in years, and whether you love this move, fear it, question it, or worship it, one thing is certain: if A.J. Brown really comes to Dallas, the NFL will never look at the Cowboys the same way again.